Hello, how y'all doing today? So today I decided to go ahead and answer some of y'all's questions about the upcoming Dragon Ball Super 2022 movie, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, to the best of my ability. We're going to be answering questions from the members only section of the Geekdom 101 YouTube channel. So if you are not a member, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe, but become a member by clicking the join button down below, and you'll have access to extra features that regular subscribers don't have access to. So this is one of those features. I'm answering questions specifically about the new movie, not about the manga or anything like that. Maybe I'll do a separate Q&A about that once we get more information about this upcoming chapter. But let's go ahead and get right into it then today, and I hope you're having a good one. All right. Ghost Embers writes, do you think they will use the 2D, 3D hybrid style for the movies and Shintani 2D designs for the anime, or do you think this new hybrid style will be the new format? Neither. I think Shintani's designs for Dragon Ball are probably going to stick around for a while. As far as the hybrid style, this is supposed to be more of a test run than anything, although I will tell you that it's easier to produce movies and content with that style. It's easier for the animators to do it, and it saves a lot of time. So we could see that 2D, 3D hybrid style for the movies, and not just Dragon Ball. We're talking about One Piece, Pretty Cure. You know, they might adapt this for the movies going forward, and then the anime, the TV show, will probably go back to having regular cell animation. But I'm not sure about that. I'm not positive because the future is yet unwritten as to what they're going to do. Some people have said that if this movie's successful, they're going to stick with this style forever, and I don't think that's the case. I think the movie, because it has Dragon Ball's name on it, will be successful no matter what. I don't think anything can stop that. I think there's a lot of factors going into it. A lot of it having to do with the fact that the animators who worked on Broly are currently working on Dragon Quest Dai and other other Toei projects, not Dragon Ball. So that's really what it comes down to as far as this goes. JD says, since this film is likely set near the end of Z territory, otherwise known as the Peaceful World arc, I've never heard anybody call it that, would you like to see elements from the Dragon Ball Online game come into play? For example, the need to have a superhero or savior that's able to defend the Earth causes Gohan and the Dragon team to follow in Goku's footsteps and install institutions to prepare and protect Earth's populace. Gohan writes his book on Ki, Krillin forms a new turtle school, Tien with the Crane School, and Trunks Goten with their Kiko Kenjutsu sword school. If Frieza survives the Granola arc, maybe reincorporate his son Kuriza. What do you think? Well, what he's referring to, for those who don't know, is Dragon Ball Online, the MMORPG that came out like 10 years ago. More than that, over 10 years ago. And in Dragon Ball Online, that was like the basis for what would become Dragon Ball Heroes and Dragon Ball Xenoverse and games like that. And there they do have stories of what happened after End of Z, after the Dragon Ball Z timeline. So like he's talking about Ten Shinhan starts a new school, Krillin makes a new turtle school, things that we kind of, some of it was hinted at in Super, but not really, they didn't really go down that path. I think that is likely to be the case after the movie. I think this movie will have its own story. It would be cool if they had like a passing line about it, like maybe, you know, oh, I would love to start training school or something like that. That'd be all right, but we're probably not going to see anything like that until they actually go past the end of Z, which I think somebody else asked me on here. I think someone else asked me about the movie taking place then. So I'll discuss that more there, but I think these ideas could work if probably after the movie, whatever content will come after the movie. Condemned Saiyan says, hey, Geekdom, hope you're doing well. So do you think Gohan will get a new transformation in the future, one that will build on his mystic form? No, if you watch my video, Ultimate Gohan Explained, the Ultimate Gohan form or whatever, it works differently than anything else. So in theory, there's really nothing above it unless Gohan decides to go into God Ki and tap into that kind of stuff. So, if Gohan gets a God form, or maybe some kind of hybrid Ultimate God form, even though the Ultimate Gohan was given to him by the Supreme Kai, old Supreme Kai, and that is a God technique, he might get something just to himself. But I've said this a million times. I'm tired of transformations. Like, I really am. Like, I don't, they need to take it, they need to go back a bit on these transformations and slow it down a bit. So, but as far as Gohan goes, I think he can get stronger without the need for one. I think that he needs to train with the gods probably to get there. Laquan Law, do you think we'll finally get past the end of Z? If we do, what does that mean for the future of the franchise? Well, it means that we're going to have stories that happen after the end of Z, which means that that's good because we're going to have a lot more drama because we don't know who survives. As far as do you think we'll finally go past the end of Z? Possibly after the movie. I don't think this movie. I think this movie takes place right before the end of Z. We'll talk more about that. I think somebody else asked about that. It seems to be a very big story. I did do a video about this, about when the movie takes place. It's on the channel. It came out a couple weeks ago, so check that video out for more details. 7-Star Sage. Since the movie takes place after the Granola arc, Granola being the strongest mortal of Universe 7, do you think the villain to this movie will actually be a serious threat, or will it just be a lighthearted conflict like Yo Son Goku and his friends return? I feel like Universe 7 will have to run out of hidden threats other than Frieza by then. Difficult to say, because Hayashida said the movie's going to have more slice of life elements, but the fandom has taken that and just assumed it's going to be a whole slice of life movie. It's not. There's going to be some combat for sure. There has to be the Dragon Ball movie, but will the threat be serious or will it be more of a joke? I could see it maybe both. I could see it starting off as being a joke and then getting serious. I mean, Beerus, was kind of a playful guy when he first came in, break dancing and eating food and all that, and then he became a serious threat. So I'm guessing it'll be more along the lines of that. You know what I mean? I think, and I've said it before, this movie will be more like Battle of Gods than like Broly. And I like Battle of Gods, but I also like Broly. So, Son Goku 777, do you think that we will connect to something later, or since they're headed a little further up the timeline? Or do you think this will be a standalone movie since we're not sure when the Granola arc will end? Just curious to see if they're going to wreck the anime-only watchers for not reading the manga. That's a good question. I've thought a lot about that. I don't know if they're going to make a story that doesn't reference the manga, or at least reference the story that's taken place in the manga. I think a lot of that will be determined as far as when and how they will adapt the manga to an anime. Talking about the Return of Super as an anime, as a weekly anime, and we still have the Moro and Granola arcs to adapt. So you would assume that that would be the upcoming plan, but I don't know for sure 100% if that's what they're going to do because they've changed their minds on stuff before. So I think that'll really make everything fit. I think the movie's going to be standalone, but not the way people think. I think it'll be a self-contained story in that it's probably not going to have a cliffhanger. Then again, who knows? I'll be all right with cliffhanger. It's going to have a beginning, middle, and end, but I think the ramifications of the film are going to be felt more so on the good side. I think we'll see some development for Pan and some development for maybe Gohan and Goku. Maybe not even Goku. But I don't think it's going to have huge implications for anything major in the future. Broly introduced Broly, but we haven't seen Broly since then. So are we going to see Broly again? I would assume so, but how and when? And when's that going to happen? We don't know. Dragon Ball's in a very weird state right now because it doesn't seem to have any direction. It seems to be very directionless. And I'm not telling you that as like a scooper. I'm telling you that because that's what I believe. It doesn't seem to have any direction, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. They seem to be kind of flying by the seat of their pants here, and that they can do better, in my opinion. They can do better, and I hope they have some kind of plan. Even though this movie was planned out even before Broly came out, it still makes you wonder, what about the manga arcs? Where's that going? So, John says, do you think that this movie has the potential to bring Gohan back to glory without it feeling forced? Or do you think the character is too far behind to make him relevant in one movie and not over multiple chapters? Feels like the great Saiyaman bound for a comeback. Well, I did do a video that confirmed that Gohan will have a bigger role in this movie. That's what I was told. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know how much of a bigger role he is. As far as bringing him back to glory, it just depends on what you mean by that. If you're expecting Gohan to become the main character again, that's not happening. If you're expecting Gohan to go back to Super Saiyan 2 Southside Gohan, probably not. But I could see a moment where Gohan does kind of become an angry badass. That I could see. At least, one moment to pop the fans, right? But It depends on what you mean by back to glory. I think that Gohan is the one character that has the potential to power up and go back and compete with the main guys. But at the same time, Goku and Vegeta have gotten so far ahead. It's going to take time, but I think of all the characters, Gohan is the one. And I just don't think one movie's enough. I think more has to happen to him. My opinion. If you disagree, leave a comment down below. Jordan Johnson, how comedic do you think this movie's going to be? I love me some good Dragon Ball comedy. I think it'll be much more comedic than Broly, and probably on the level of Battle of Gods. That's what I'm guessing. George asked me a question not about the movie. I'm only answering movie questions on this Q&A. We'll do another Q&A in the future with other questions. It's just for the movie. Star Blast says, what are you most looking forward to or most worried about this movie? I'm most looking forward to seeing the combat and seeing the development of the characters like Pan and seeing how strong they've gotten and, seeing how it looks and the music. There's all kinds of rumors about, what the music's going to be like. I'm assuming Shintani will become, not Shintani, now I'm drawing a blank. Sumitomo. Sumitomo will be coming back. That's my guess on that because he's the Dragon Ball Super composer, but who knows? I think they're going to go in that direction. But most thing I'm worried about is if they do the 3D, 2D CGI gimmick thing, if it's going to look like crap. Because it could look like crap. That I am worried about. And I'm also worried that the movie's not going to please people. Now, granted, I don't care if somebody likes or hates the movie. I'm going to have my own opinion, but I don't want people to write this movie off before they go see it. They're going to see the trailers and be like, oh, man, it's going to suck, and then it might actually be a good movie. I think everyone should give it a chance to see if it is good. That's what because I don't know if it's going to be good or not, even by the trailer. But I'll have more thoughts on that when we get there. Broken Lion 69 says, do you think Goten and Trunks will have a big part in the movie? Depends on what you mean by big part. I think, yes, they will make an appearance in the film. I do think Goten and Trunks will be in this movie. As far as a big part, probably not. I think Goten and Trunks' days of being relevant in Dragon Ball are behind them. I think that if they fuse to make Gotenks will get wiped out in 2 hits. I think we saw that in Dragon Ball Super. They don't really do much. We saw Kid Trunks interacting with Future Trunks, in that arc, but Goten was kind of like just a background character. So I think the days of them being relevant is over unless we actually go past the end of Z and we have the retirement of the old fighters and the rise of the new fighters. Then we could see something, but I just don't see that being the case. Adam Rangel says, what's the one thing you really want to see in this movie? Ultra Instinct. I want to see Ultra Instinct on the big screen. I want to see the silver hair. I want to see Goku do it. I want to see Goku be a badass. I want to see all of that stuff in this movie. That's what I want to see. And of course, make sure you leave a comment down below and tell me what you want to see most in this film. That is it for the Q&A. Thanks as always for watching. Thanks for all your questions, members. Love you guys. Take care of yourself, and I'll see y'all this weekend.